Hi everyone, welcome. There's my presentation as well, and I'm happy to see so many of you here. It's nice to see all of you, and I probably got back from networking and excited and maybe a bit exhausted as well from all the conversations and talks you had. So welcome back. I'm going to talk about confidence, building confidence for your career, but actually in a broader sense as well. And don't hold back with asking questions. We're going to have a nice Q&A afterwards. You also have some time after that. So if you have any questions, either type them in the chat right away, or we're going to take care of that later in our Q&A session. Yeah, so it's going to be a workshop. So there's going to be a little work for you as well, but not too much. So that's going to be fine. Just reserve a little bit of energy for that part as well. I am Miguel. And I live now since about 8 years. I live in the Netherlands, originally from Switzerland, so I do speak a bit of German as well. And I founded startups in the past. I always worked in digital, data analytics, product management, mobile apps, e-commerce. That's basically my background. And in the past, also I've been managing teams at corporations. And since about 5 years, I coach leaders and young professionals in the digital space who do want to change their careers, who don't really feel that they know what they want, or they feel stuck in their careers, or they want to change their leadership presence in some way. Yeah, so some part of what I would like to talk about today, and I'm going to start with a little bit of a story of myself. And what this is really that part of, my first startup. I went to Berlin. I was excited. That was about 10 years ago. We got a lot of money. We had this accelerator. It was very prestigious. We had a team. We had an exciting mission. We worked on it. And at some point, it all just fell apart. It just didn't work. My co-founder and me, best friends in the past, best friends today, but we just didn't click anymore. Clients didn't like us. It just all really just drizzled away. Our team slowly left us, and as well, it just didn't work out. So after about 12 months, 18 months, somewhere there, we just had to decide we need to stop this. And well, I was broke, as you are, after a startup that didn't go well. And what I did, I had two choices: go back to my parents or my boyfriend. And I moved to Amsterdam to my boyfriend, moved in, and I rebuilt my life here. And I had jobs, I was freelancing, I built another startup, I was leading teams, I was just like that. I was just doing fine, and everybody was impressed. I spoke Dutch, built a life here in the Netherlands, and it was just fine. But it wasn't fine. On the inside, I was insecure. I didn't know what I was doing. I felt like a fraud. I had this big thought in my head, like, I'm not good enough, you're not good enough. I was just convinced of that, although I know it's not true. Like, there's proof around me, but I just didn't feel good enough. I also felt this voice saying, you will never get anything done. And you will never succeed at anything. You never achieve anything. And this voice is very strong. So I really felt pretty bad. But I didn't talk about it with anyone. It was just for a couple of years I was in this dark place. And I had people to talk to, my partner as well, but it kind of didn't really click. And that was a tough period, but I just powered through. Eventually, not really burnout, but like months of not feeling well, continuous headaches and migraines, and just, it took me a while. So I had to realign. And that's when I started coaching. That's when I started to getting in touch with me, my body, and myself, actually. And I realized coaching people over the past years as well, these thoughts, although devastating, and they're just in my head, and they're normal. Many people have them. I'm coaching senior executives at corporations, and coaching entrepreneurs and product managers. And at some point, not in the beginning, but at some point in our coaching project together, there's always something around that. They always feel similar in some way. They have these thoughts nagging at them if they're honest, and at some point they talk about it. And it takes away a lot of joy. It holds them back in their career, as it has been holding back me, because I left money on the table. I didn't negotiate as I should have. I didn't ask for that promotion, although I could. it held me back in my career, but also it held me back from enjoying life, actually, to the fullest. Now, for some of you, you might know RuPaul's Drag Race, and they're also talking about these saboteurs, and that's actually a term coming from positive psychology. And these thoughts, they're just thoughts, but they're very powerful thoughts, and they're holding us back. They're holding all of us back. At least most people I've known, they have some sort of these thoughts. And they're real, at least as real as thoughts get. And it's when we look at the LGBTIQ plus community, it's actually even harder because, well, in this case, they put themselves in that situation to be judged. But our community is continuously, we get this small sense of attacks in the media, comments, maybe there's institutionalized racism, homophobia, transphobia. It's all out there. It's part of our lives. And they add up. Although we are, believe me, I have never seen so many resilient people than in our community that have the energy, the drive to stand up day after for decades, to keep fighting for our rights. But it takes away, even if you acknowledge it, or if you don't, but it takes away, it chips away little by little from our confidence if you don't do anything to rebuild it, to renew and refresh our sense of self-esteem and confidence in who we are and how we stand in the world. So these saboteurs, they're fed from inside because they are our thoughts, and they're fed by all this criticism and these surroundings that are not made for us. So it's kind of like this double challenge we have. And there's two ways you can deal with that. There's probably multiple ways, but I have seen two ways that work in positive psychology that really help build and rebuild that confidence. And one is kind of understanding where these voices come from, understanding that that's the internal voices, where they come from, how they are triggered. Maybe there's something happening in your life, and then you start going that downward spiral over and over again. Maybe there's a story you keep repeating in your life from your past. Maybe there's something else that triggers you. So understanding that, where it comes from, what it does, is one way to help you. You can also give that almost the saboteur, create a persona out of that. Give it a name, give it a shape, give it maybe even a dress and a way how they walk and talk. That's one way to deal with that. And the other way, and that's actually what I would like to do with you today, is building that confidence from the inside. And it's the daily practice. You can build confidence. Like once I learned that, I was like, what? I can change how I feel about myself. I can build and learn. Wow. That kind of changed a lot of how I looked at the world. And I'll give you in a second a bit more about the neuroscience in that as well, how it actually works in our brain, how science has proven that we can build confidence by daily practice. Now, we have been in this land of the saboteurs for a couple minutes now, from these negative voices, from these self-doubts, and they're very contagious. So I want to shift that for a moment, because we're going to do an exercise in a minute that's going to build on this inner strength, your inner leader, your inner confidence. You want to bring this out. I want to build this out, and in order to do that, we need to shift our mindset from, we are a little bit below the line maybe now. Maybe you have your own stories and your own thoughts that hold you back, and all that's happening right now. And I want to shift that for a moment. Now, how are we going to do that? Well, I would like to invite you, and that's just going to take a minute or so, but I want to make a conscious shift in that. So if you're standing or sitting wherever you are, maybe just close your eyes, and I'm going to do this with you. It's just going to take a minute for us to reconnect with our body. Try to reconnect to your breath. Take a big breath in and out. Connect with your feet. Put them on the ground. I'm standing at the moment, so I'm feeling these feet. I'm standing how I stand grounded. Maybe you're sitting. Feel your back and just feel and sense what's going on right now. And from that connection with yourself, connection with your body, I'm also inviting you to think of the most joyful experience when you felt just super happy, when everything was right for just a moment, maybe. Think about that experience. Think about that experience that makes you happy, fulfilled, and you just feel like it's really making you. And just realize like what's happening maybe in your body. Maybe there's a smile coming up. At least I realize like I'm smiling a bit more. My nervousness from giving this talk here is waning a little bit away. I can slow down a little bit. My messaging. Just realize what's happening for you. Remember that for a moment and sense that in yourself. And now I would like to get on an exercise with you. Open up your eyes, come back to the world here, and yeah, let's see what's happening right now. We're going to talk about an exercise called I Am Remarkable. And it's a format from Google. Maybe some of you know it. And even if you know it, reconnect with it. It's going to be a nice exercise as well to do. And you're going to phrase statements. You are going to phrase statements, and you're going to type them in the chat. Or at least I invite you to phrase them in the chat and say like, what makes you remarkable? So come up with 3, 4 examples. Some of them you can type in the chat, please. It would be really nice to see that. What makes you remarkable? And afterwards, I'll give you the neuroscience piece. Why we're doing that, why it's so important to do that. But for now, just stick with it and take a leap of faith with me. I know that can be hard, but what kind of statements could you have? I'm going to just give a few examples here from myself. I'm remarkable because I have rebuilt my life multiple times. I'm remarkable because I came out to my family and friends. I'm remarkable because I do not settle to build my dream life. I keep going. I'm remarkable because I dare to care deeply about the world, and sometimes it actually hurts, and I still keep doing that. And I'm remarkable because I went to the gym today, and actually I didn't really want to, but I knew it was good for me, so I did it. So it can be big things that make you remarkable, and it can be small things that make you remarkable. What's important is that it connects to you. Now just feel free, I haven't seen any, but maybe, yeah. Thank you, Sachin. I'm remarkable because I'm caring, absolutely. Thank you for making the start. It's always the hardest. And I also invite all of you, all the others, write just a real quick, one statement, type real quick. And it can be something small. For example, for somebody that has a depression or is going through burnout, like, I'm remarkable because I brushed my teeth today, because I got out of bed today, can be a real achievement, can feel like something that's really tough and big for them. So just write something that feels, and sharing it will give it so much more charge, and that emotional charge. I know it feels vulnerable, it feels maybe daring, but try to give it a chance to write that. I'm seeing beautiful statements coming along here. Just reading that. I am remarkable because I'm getting through the tough time and being positive about the future. Absolutely. Keeping positive. Yeah. It's really hard sometimes. But I'm remarkable because I deliver training sessions which help startups to become better. Yeah. You see, there's that. And taking time for this conference. Yeah. Thank you all for sharing that, and keep going. It's like I would love to see everybody share one statement. It would be really nice to just do that. It's a really important step to kind of own that, but I'll write it down. And it's not over. It's not over from, this exercise is not done yet, so stay with me for a moment, because I would like to explain a little bit what we're doing right now here. And if you keep coming to the statements, the I am remarkable statements, that would be really nice. Our brain, how our brains work from a neuroscientific point of view, real quickly. We have neurons, we connect them. Through effort, we can connect neurons with each other. And that's basically these connections between them, these neuron connections, they get stronger the more we use them. It's like when I was learning Dutch, I had to learn the words and the grammar. In the beginning was a pain, and over time it got easier and easier, and it became stronger, these neural connections, like a highway from, like just a small path. It became a highway, these connections, much faster, much easier, accessible to me. And building confidence is exactly the same. Either we focus on the negative talk and we continuously focus on that saboteur voice, or we focus on this positive voice. And the statements can be phrased as I am remarkable, or there can be other success moments you want to write down, or there's like these successes you've had in the life, or what you're proud of, achievements, whatever it is. But that positivity, that sense of it makes me good, it makes me feel nice. That's something that's really important to focus on, because it strengthens these neuron connections in your brain and it gets easier to access every single time. The first time maybe you're writing down a statement, that may be tough and that's maybe hard and maybe a little bit technical, but over time it becomes easier and easier to recall those. And over time, that will build your self-esteem and your self-confidence. So that's kind of this neuroscience part. That's really important to feel and to sense that you build. The concept behind that is called neuroplasticity, which means that your brain can shift even in at a later stage in life. And it's easy to do that because these neuron connections build, but you need to do it. And now the hard part is coming. And you took 30 minutes to join me on this conversation. So if you want to take something away, this is the most important part. First, you can build confidence. You can build it. You can build self-esteem. You're not sentenced to live small or doubting yourself. No, you can build that authentically. And what you can do is you have to practice every single, I didn't write it down, but fucking day. Every single fucking day, you have to practice this. And that's why these statements come in, these I am remarkable statements. They will connect to you. They will help you practice these statements, like learning Dutch, like going to the gym, like training a muscle. These statements help you to practice over and over again and connect these neurons that you want to connect, that help you feel confident. That's where you want to get to. So building on this exercise we just did, and I see there's still some more statements coming. Thank you for that. I'm inviting you, write down 25 by hand, preferably on a piece of paper. Write down 25 of these statements of I am remarkable because. Every time, I am remarkable because. I'm remarkable because. Put them on a piece of paper, maybe put it on your bathroom mirror or somewhere in your fridge, and read them every single day. Say them out loud. If it feels uncomfortable, if there's some kind of emotions come up, perfect. That's even better. Because neuron connections that build either by intense emotion that's attached to these neuron connections, memories, basically, what you're building, or by repetition, or both. And if you feel and sense something, even better. If you repeat it every day, marvelous. You are building that confidence that will get you unstuck in your careers, that gets you unstuck in your lives. That will, if you don't know what you want in your career, and you've done all the exercise and you've read all the books out there, and you still feel stuck and you still don't know, the chances are big that you're not dreaming big enough, that you don't dare, that you don't allow yourself to dream enough, to dream big enough. So that's that part of getting closer to what you want, building confidence, and then things will fall in place. Do this, read these, add to these statements, write more, learn more about it, read more about it, talk about it with other people. It's contagious. Confidence and lack of confidence, both are very contagious. Self-doubt is contagious, but also when you feel confident, other people will feel confident with you. So how beautiful of a gift is it to the world if you feel confident and show that to them as well. Now, there's a lot of additional resources. If you're curious, there's books to read, there's TEDx movies, there's a lot of stuff I can share as well, additional exercises. I'm Remarkable is just one of many exercises that help you to build confidence over time, which will impact your career as well and take it forward there. So there are these additional resources, and reach out to me if you feel like, hey, I would like to get these links as well, because it's, for sake of time, I can't really dive into that any further. But that's part of building confidence over time, guys. I want to give you 1 minute right now, and I'm coming to an end already. What is one thing you want to change in your career? So we have touched probably not enough on career, because you expect it's going to be a career talk, and actually I only touched on the confidence piece, because all the career parts out there that's impacted by confidence, but it always starts the nucleus of change in your career, the nucleus of knowing what you want, getting unstuck, getting a promotion, asking for a bigger salary, starting your own business, moving a company. There's always that sense of insecurity, a little bit of vulnerability, taking a leap of faith. Not really knowing what's coming is basically the definition of insecurity, because you just don't know. It might all sound fine, but you still have that sense of unease. So confidence is really at the core of that, to help you advance in your career, to speak up in meetings, to be heard, to give outstanding presentations, to dare to deliver something different in a project. That's also risk. And all comes down, it's all rooted in a confident self, in yourself, knowing, trusting yourself in your skills, and going for it, basically. So I want to invite you now as well, and I'm offering you this automatic service, almost not automatic, it's just me. But what is one thing you want to change in your career? Think about it, and you can scan the QR code. It takes you right away to WhatsApp and send me a message right there. You can send me email as well, because first of all, sharing it with somebody will increase the chances that you're actually going to do that. Maybe it's writing these 25 statements. Maybe it's connecting daily to your confident self. Maybe it means that you want to tackle these internal voices. Whatever it is that you want to do, chances are that your motivation is going down a little bit in 5 minutes, tomorrow maybe, and don't even talk about Monday morning. Probably don't even remember what you thought about it right now. So take me as an accountability partner. Send me a quick message. Hey, I would like to do that. Or you can also send me a message if you want these additional resources, of course. But take that one step you want to take in your career, that you want to step up, that you want to take a risk maybe as well in your career. And then I'll remind you maybe in a week or so to just like, hey, you wanted to commit to that. How is it going? How have you been with that commitment you took? So this is my offer to you as well. Thank you for sticking around for this presentation as well with me. And I hope that you take away a little bit of building confidence, of stepping up, standing out there, and taking charge of your careers, because that's basically what it is. It's your career, it's your life. And with that sense of confidence that you might be building over time, becomes easier and easier to take charge of your life and your own career.